everybody, and welcome back to EdTech Classroom. If you're new here, I'm Maddie. I'm so happy you're here. For today's tech tip, I'm going to be showing you how to create an engaging morning meeting for Halloween. So if you have been following me for a little while now, you know that I really love morning meeting. It's kind of my thing. I think it's just a really fun way to embed a classroom community, to incorporate social emotional learning in your classroom. So I'm going to be showing two different tools today. So first, we're going to be taking a look at how you can create an engaging Google Slides presentation for morning meeting. And then next, I'm going to be showing you how you can use a digital spinner to create Halloween themed activities. So without further ado, let's get started. So I am a huge fan of using slides for morning meeting. I think that this is a really great tool to provide structure to your meeting, whether you're in person or you're teaching online. So for example, this slide here says Happy Halloween. It obviously has a really fun Halloween theme. We have Frankenstein here, this little creepy pumpkin worm in the bottom right-hand corner. I would screen share a slide like this, either if I'm teaching on Zoom or if I'm in person, I would project this slide basically on the board while waiting for students to enter the room. Then when it's time for a morning meeting, I would go to the next slide and I would begin with the morning greeting. Now, I personally really like to follow the responsive classroom morning meeting structure. I think it works really well for students. So these slides are going to be based off that structure, but if you use a different structure, I still think it's a really great idea to have slides to provide structure and a schedule to your meeting. So this slide here says, good morning. Today is a spooky fall day. It is Friday, October 30th, 2020. This morning, we will continue working on Writer's Workshop. We will also have STEM class. So then for the next slide, we have the morning share. Now I've used the phrase spooky share just because I like alliteration and I think it's kind of adds a fun twist to a Halloween themed morning meeting. So then you could have some sort of Halloween themed share for students. So for example, on this slide here, I have two different examples. So first, you could ask students, what is your favorite Halloween candy? Or another great share idea could be, you could ask students, what is your favorite Halloween costume? So this can be a really nice way to spark classroom discussion. And I think it's just a nice classroom community tool that you can use during a morning meeting on Halloween. So next for this next activity, for those of you who have been watching my videos for a little while now, you know that one, I love morning meeting, and two, even more than that, I really love doing mystery activities during morning meeting. I think they bring a bunch of, excitement and suspense for students about, trying to figure out what's going to come next. So for example, this activity here, it says click a button below to discover your spooky surprise. So students can, click on one of these buttons, or you as the teacher can call on a student and ask them which button they'd like to choose. I often like to start by telling teachers to start off with their morning leader, for example. So let's say that a morning leader has decided that they want to choose this activity here. They can click on it and it'll actually take them to an activity. So this one says worm time. Pretend you are a creepy crawly worm and wiggle your body. Then you can go back to the game board and you can click on another option. So let's say a student wants to click on this one here. Witch's broom. Pretend you are a witch and fly around the room on your broom. Back, and then I'll show you guys one more example here. Hocus pocus. Everybody focus. Close your eyes and take 10 deep breaths. So these are just 3 examples of really short activities that you could do with your students. If you wanted, you could do just one of these. You could do all 5 of them. It's really up to you. But like I said, I think this mystery element of allowing students to click on a button gives them, some choice, but also this element of surprise that I think can be really fun for students, especially when thinking about, making things Halloween themed. So next, after you've completed the activities, you can move on to the morning message. So at the bottom here, I just clicked on the button and now I'm on a slide that says morning message. Yesterday, we learned about how writers get their ideas. Today, we are going to begin writing our own personal narratives for Writer's Workshop. Does anyone have an idea about what a personal narrative might be? Now this morning message here basically says, okay, this is what we learned yesterday, and sort of prompts students to begin thinking about what they're going to be learning in the next activity, which is going to be Writer's Workshop in this instance. Now, of course, if you wanted, you could make this, Halloween themed. It could be, introducing students to a craft you're going to do that day. This is just kind of one idea to help you think about ways that you can create creative morning messages for students that are related to the activities that you're going to be doing that day in your classroom. So now I just want to give you guys a little bit of, a sneak peek into what these slides actually look like. So if you remember, I created this Halloween activity slide that basically works like a game board for students to be able to click on a button and discover the activity. So what I have here is I have just these these 5 different boxes here that I actually created using the shape tool. So what I did was I went up to this shape tool button here, and I can click on it. Then I can click on the button that says shapes. And you'll see I used this rounded rectangle. I just like the way it looks, but you can use any shape on here to actually create a button. So to do that, I'll just click here, and I can actually click and drag to create a button. So I can, kind of align it. I can change the color by going up to this paint bucket tool. I can select, if I wanted to do purple, I could do that. But then once I've actually created the button, what I'll do is I'll actually link it to a different slide. So if we take a look at the slides on the left-hand side here, it actually works in a linear order, just like a regular slide presentation. So you'll see that there's this Frankenstein activity, this worm activity, witch's broom, hocus pocus, pumpkin. So there's 5 different activities. And what I've done is I've linked each of these buttons to a different slide. So you'll see, for example, on this first one here, when I click on it, it says that it's linked to slide number 5, this one here. Now, if I click on this one, you'll see it's linked to slide number 6, which is this activity here. And then one more example I'll show you, this one here is linked to slide number 7, which is this activity here, which is broom on the left-hand side, slide number 7. So the way that you actually link slides is, let me just remove the link here. Okay, so the way you actually link buttons to different slides is you'll click on the shape after you've created it, okay? And what you can do is you can go up here to the little link button. If you like shortcuts and you have a Mac, you could also do Command K on your keyboard. So I'll click the link button, and now you'll see that I can actually paste a link. So I could link this to a website, a YouTube video, for example, if I wanted students to, do a little, dance along or something to a song. But what I can do here is I'll click on this button here that says slides in this presentation. Then I'll scroll down, and so this one I want to link to slide 7. So I'll find slide 7, I'll click on it, and now that I'm ready, I'll click the apply button. And so now when the slides are in presentation view, when a student actually clicks on this button, it will then take them to slide number 7. So that's just kind of a fun trick for how you can do, linking and be sort of creative in ways that you create activities and games in your slide presentations. So for this next activity, I'm just going to show you a really fun way that you can create a digital spinner that you can use on Halloween with your students. Now, this is just kind of a fun, brain break activity. I only have 6 different examples here. So if you wanted, you could do, way more or fewer. But basically, if you've never seen this website before, first of all, you definitely want to check it out. It's called Wheel of Names. And basically the way it works is you can create a digital spinner that you can click on and it will select a name. So this is a really great way to call on students randomly, kind of like popsicle stick style, except it's fully random. However, I've also seen and created some really cool ways that you can use Wheel of Names for activities. So instead of, just doing it for a random name picker, you can also actually input activity ideas. So this is an example I've made for Halloween that I'm going to show you basically how it works. So if I'm a student or if I'm the teacher, what I can do is I can just click on this little digital spinner here and you'll see it spins. And once it stops, it'll give the activity. So this one, for example, says fly on a witch's broom. So now students can, pretend they're a witch flying around the room on their broom. And then when you're done with this one, you can click remove. Okay, and now it's gone. And so now I can actually spin this again to do another activity. So it's nice, it actually removes it from the pile. So now this next one here, it says dance like Frankenstein. So digital spinners, I think, are just so much fun for students. They get so excited when they see it spinning on the screen. So this can be a really fun classroom community activity to do on Halloween, whether you're teaching in person or online. I think just the visual of a digital spinner is really, really fun and highly engaging for kids. They especially love when the confetti starts flying all over the screen. So now that you've seen this digital spinner that I've created, I'm actually going to show you how you can create your own. So if you go to wheelofnames.com, you can actually create a digital spinner. So I'll click on this new button to create a brand new one. Now, when I click on it, you'll see that there are some example names that are already inputted in here. So if I wanted, I could, create these, I could delete all of these names and start inputting activities. So I could say walk like Frankenstein. Pretend you are a black cat. Fly around the room on a broom. So you basically get the idea here. What I'm doing is I'm just typing in my activities, and then when I finish one, I press the return button or the enter button on my keyboard, and then I can type in a new one. And so I can fill this up with as many as I'd like. I mean, I don't actually know the exact number, but you can put in hundreds of different activities in here and it'll just keep on going. So you can do as few as you'd like or as many as you'd like as well. So then when you're ready, you can play around with a few other customization. I'm not going to get too much into detail here. I'm just trying to introduce you to this tool, but you're welcome to explore and experiment. But you can add images if you'd like. So if you noticed, I had some little pumpkin or Frankenstein or the worm in my little digital spinner, and I did that by clicking on this button here that says add an image. Now you can also change the colors. So right now it's just these, these primary colors here. If I wanted, I could click on the customize button, and then I'll click on the button here that says colors, and I can actually change the colors. So Wheel of Names has a bunch of themes you can pick from, which is what I'm going to show you, but you can also actually select your own colors if you'd like as well. So if I click on a category, maybe I'll say, okay, how about holidays? Now I can pick a theme. So there's just a few here: Christmas, Earth Day, Easter, Halloween, New Year, St. Patrick's Day, and Thanksgiving. So of course, this is a Halloween activity. So I'll click on Halloween, and you'll see that it's created these, orange and black Halloween color spinner. So once I press OK, you'll see that now I've changed up the theme, which I think can just kind of be a fun way to put students in the Halloween spirit. So let me add just one more example here. How about, maybe we'll do pretend you are carving a pumpkin. So anyways, as you start to add more, it will start auto-populating the colors. So the more you add, kind of the better the spinner looks. But hopefully you get the idea. So then when you're ready to actually share this with students, what you can do is you can put it in full screen mode by clicking this button here that says full screen. So now it's in full screen mode. You don't see the ads on the left-hand side, and it can just be a really fun and engaging way to click to spin. Then students discover their activities. So this one says, pretend you are carving a pumpkin. And then to remove it, you can just, again, click the remove button, and you can keep spinning until you've completed as many activities as you'd like. Thank you so much for watching today's tech tip. I hope you enjoyed these Halloween themed morning meeting activity ideas. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe if you're not already, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye, friends.